It is 6:42. Welcome back to a great day for this Tuesday, 19th of August, as we welcome to the program the man who's here every week at this time. Yes, that is him, Ron the Car Guy. And Ron, before we talk about car stuff, handful of Subarus left, and I know you're a big Subaru fan.
There's only a couple left, isn't there?
Couple left.
Yeah,
that's all.
yeah.
So you're going to be there tomorrow?
Oh, absolutely,
right,
tomorrow night. If you haven't been to a Subaru, you want to come out because they're a lot of fun, and it benefits the zoo, and you'll be there.
You'll be there.
Well, yeah,
and you bring gifts too. You bring really cool gifts.
Yeah, and it's not like frankincense and mirth. I bring like lawn chairs and some neat stuff.
Yeah, Westside Auto Pro lawn chairs we give away during the first intermission. So there you go.
We're running low on those too. I think we got enough for the next 2 Subarus, and we'll be out.
Okay, so limited edition.
Collector's item.
There you go. All right, so last week, Ron, we started talking about questions you need to discuss and things you need to discuss with your mechanic, and we got about halfway through.
We did. Okay. We did. I'm long-winded.
All right, but we now need to hit up the second half of our question.
We do. And the first thing I'm going to roll into, and we run into this quite often when it comes time to get a car fixed, but one of the questions you should ask is, are there any options for the repair? So your vehicle's in and it needs an XYZ or something to fix it, and it's going to be $800, and maybe that's not in the budget.
Right.
But rather than decline the repair or say, hey, it's not in the budget, ask them, are there any other options to fix this?
Now, what would be another option?
You know, that's a good question. I don't know. But no, actually, I do know. Oftentimes on parts, you have the option of like a remanufactured or rebuilt part.
Okay.
Or in sometimes there's a good option for like a used part. I mean, maybe your car needs a whole engine, and you can find a low mileage used one in a salvage yard would be a good option. Or even sometimes on some suspension components and stuff. I mean, I don't recommend that you start buying like used starters and used water pumps. I mean, you can't test the quality of those, and you don't know how they're going to be. But if it's something that can physically be inspected or tested before it's put on the vehicle and will provide safe, useful life, that could be an option. Sure. So just ask about that. Or sometimes, maybe it's an older car and you're not going to keep it very long, and you don't need the top of the line replacement part.
They call the OEM, original equipment.
Correct. Maybe an aftermarket part will do just fine for a shorter period of time. The warranty might not be as good, but it could save you a few dollars. The other thing that we see is what if you combine repairs? So let's say that your vehicle needs, possibly a water pump and maybe some other component. Is there a labor savings if you do both at the same time? Because cars are compact. There's a lot of stuff, under the hood and a lot of stuff under the car, and oftentimes you have to remove the same component to do 2 different repairs. Well, if I do them at the same time, is there a labor savings? You're already there.
Right, killing 2 birds with 1 stone.
Absolutely. Timing belts are a great example for that.
Yep.
You're doing the timing belt. You might as well put on the water pump and the idler pulley and the serpentine belt because you're removing that stuff. You're already there. So, that's a great question to ask is, what are the other options? Is there a way that we can save a few dollars on this repair?
Okay.
Is that kind of a red flag if you're like, are there any other options to this? And they're like, nope, this is the only thing that's available.
Sometimes there isn't. Or it isn't a good idea. If somebody came in and said, well, can we put a used water pump on your vehicle? Rather than no, there should be an explanation as to why that's not a good idea. They should at least be able to, put it in terms that make sense to you as to why it's not a good idea. The nope probably is a red flag, but have the conversation. Absolutely. Okay. The other thing that I wanted to touch a little bit on is what is the warranty on the repair that you're performing on my vehicle? And for years, standard in our industry, it's been 12 months, 12,000 miles, parts and labor. We're starting to see that extend out a little bit more. And I've seen some repair invoices where it's shortened up. I've seen automobile repair shops that had a 90-day warranty on parts and labor.
What type of stuff?
Just that's their standard warranty.
Standard warranty.
That's pretty much, 90 days. And so if to be honest, I mean, if somebody's talking about a 90-day warranty on a repair, just leave. I mean, that's the best advice I can give you.
Goodbye.
Yeah. But 2 years, 24,000 miles is becoming more common, as the quality of parts are better, and if a job's done right, a repair, should last, 2 years, 24,000 miles or more. You have to keep in mind the parts that we're installing are a man-made product, so they have a chance for failure.
Right. Sure.
And it's a human being installing the part on a vehicle. And I tell people, bring your car to me enough times, give me a chance. We will screw up. I mean, we're human. We're going to make a mistake.
You go 1,000 times, there's probably going to be one.
Absolutely, absolutely. But when we do, just tell us, and I mean, we'll take care of it. We'll stand behind it. But other things that I have seen, and you get into what I call marketing warranties. I've seen companies out there that have a 4-year, 40,000 mile parts and labor warranty, a 5-year, 50,000 mile parts and labor warranty. And I call that a marketing warranty because the reality is, let's say, Jason, your car has 80,000 miles on it and the alternator fails, and you put another alternator on that vehicle. If that replacement component doesn't fail in the next 2 years, it's probably not going to fail in 4. And what's the likelihood that you're going to have the car for another 40,000 miles? By the time something fails. So we get into, I call them marketing warranties. Is there a big difference between a 4-year, 40,000 mile warranty and a 2-year, 24,000 mile warranty? In my opinion, no. And it was put to me one time in a marketing class that I had taken. The instructor said, if you have a really good customer and your warranty's 2 years, 24,000 miles, and he comes in and it's 3 years and got 31,000 miles on it and the part failed, you're probably going to take care of it anyway. So is there value in those? Maybe, maybe not. And then you have some bigger components like engines, transmissions. Oftentimes they'll have a longer manufacturer's warranty, which is like 3 years, 100,000 miles, or 3 years unlimited mileage. The question you want to ask there, you want to kind of watch out on that, is does it cover all the labor? So let's say you're sold an engine that has a 3-year, 100,000 mile warranty, and it fails. Well, the company that manufactures the engine might only pay $50 an hour, and the cost to get a car repaired is probably $100 an hour. So who pays that other $50? Right. And you don't want to find out when there's a problem with the engine. You want to find out when you're purchasing it, does it cover all the labor? That's a great question to ask.
And what if they say no, it doesn't?
Then find out what the terms are and use that in your understanding. Because if someone sells me something and says it's got a 3-year, 100,000 mile warranty, what do I expect to pay for the next 3 years, 100,000 miles to get it fixed if it fails?
Zero.
Exactly. And then all of a sudden you go in and it's failed and you're hit with the $500, $600, $700 repair.
Right.
You're not happy.
Right.
So just get all the details up front. And that's a great question to ask on stuff like that. And then the other question, this kind of goes along the lines with the warranty stuff. In a recent survey, I think it was last year, AAA did a survey of the biggest complaints people have when they get their car fixed. And ranking number 1 is it wasn't fixed right the first time. And so the question that I think people should have up front with the repair shop or the mechanic is, what if this doesn't fix my car? You're proposing a $200 or $300 repair and it doesn't fix my car. What are we going to do?
Right.
Exactly.
And you want to know that up front. I mean, are they going to put your old part on? Are they not going to charge you? Or are they going to say, well, it needed it anyway? If it doesn't fix the car, it doesn't fix the car. And just find out what their policy is up front or how they handle it. That's a rare instance. I would like to think that most people that fix cars are competent. But again, we're human. We're going to make mistakes. And so if a mistake's made and this doesn't fix my car, what are we going to do?
Have a game plan.
Absolutely. Just find out up front so you know. And then the likelihood is that's not going to happen. But if it does, I want to cross that bridge up front.
Okay. Right. See, that's like your old slogan, the one you got rid of years ago. We fix your car right the first time. or second or third or fourth. That got too long.
Yeah, it did. It did. Yeah, yeah. And then we started doing we fix your car right the 7th time. People quit coming in.
People weren't buying
Yeah,
it.
exactly. I didn't know what happened there.
Yeah, so I'm glad you got rid of that slogan. So.
Well, at least they fix it.
No, but
We
those are
fix your
important
car
questions.
eventually.
Great
Yeah.
questions that you
Well,
don't
they-
always
they-
think of
yeah.
right,
No.
right at the front.
Now, what if somebody wants to get all half a dozen of these questions? You'll be able to help them out by saying, here's a checklist you should go through.
I tell you what, if they just want to email me,
Okay.
I'm Ron at westsideautopros.com. I'll fire the questions right
There you
back
go,
to them.
perfect.
Absolutely.
Give everybody something to walk in with.
Absolutely.
Okay?
Yep.
Because, who cares if they say, oh, you're reading off a sheet? Go, yeah, to make sure I don't forget.
Yeah.
Well, I got to read them off a sheet because
Yeah.
otherwise I'd forget, and I'm in the industry.
Perfect. All right, so tell everybody where they can go to get this advice.
They can go to westsideautopros.com. You can contact me through there, through email, or give me a call at 225-9090.
Or go to Zoo Brew tomorrow night and see you around the car.
Absolutely.
I'll
I'll
be
have an
hanging
extra
out
set
with
of
us.
questions in my back pocket. I can hand them out.
I'm going to check. I'm checking tomorrow. Mark
Now I
my
gotta
words.
bring 'em.
Now he's got to bring them. Thank you, sir. Good job.
All right,
As
thanks.
always, we'll be right back. Totally serious news coming up next, including where you spend the most for a football ticket in college ranks.
My first two guesses were wrong.
Iowa is in one of the highest tickets. We'll
I
tell you
guessed
where they
Notre Dame
rank.
and Alabama, and they were wrong.
You
Coming
guys should
up.
give tickets away to Iowa then, if they're so expensive.
Courtesy of Westside Auto Pro.
I'll talk to Tad.
All right, we'll be right back.